The agony of hope has haunted Wallabies fans for nearly 4 decades at Eden Park, the iconic stadium in Auckland where this Saturday's first test of the Bledisloe Cup will take place. If hope can be a slow, painful torment, then Australian rugby supporters have been enduring just that since 1986, the last time the Wallabies triumphed on this intimidating turf. Eden Park is often described as the All Blacks' fortress, and for good reason. Since 1994, New Zealand has not tasted defeat there, boasting an unbeaten streak of 51 tests, with 49 wins and 2 draws. No Australian team has managed to break this streak since the legendary 1986 squad, captained by Andrew Slack and coached by Alan Jones. It's not just Eden Park that's daunting, Slack explains. Places like Carisbrook, known as the House of Pain, and Death Valley in Dunedin are equally fearsome. The real challenge is that you're always facing the All Blacks, no matter where you play. But this year, I genuinely believe we have a very real shot at winning. Many share Slack's optimism. The All Blacks are coming off their worst test defeat ever, a crushing 43-10 loss to South Africa, while the Wallabies are riding high, leading the Rugby Championship. Could this be the year Australia finally breaks the Eden Park curse and claims their first Bledisloe Cup victory there in 23 years? Every Wallaby dreams of beating the All Blacks on their home ground, says Simon Poitevin, the flanker from the 1986 team. But to do it at Eden Park, the very heart of New Zealand rugby, the cathedral of their ambitions, that's the ultimate achievement. Looking back, the 1970s and early 80s were kinder to Australia. In the decade before the 1986 tour, the Wallabies regularly bested the All Blacks, including a one-off Bledisloe Test win in 1979 and a 2-1 series victory in 1980. However, narrow one-point losses in the 1984 and 1985 series had left a bitter taste. We knew we were just as good as them, so those missed chances only fueled our hunger, Slack recalls. After the 1984 series, we toured Europe and achieved a grand slam by beating all the home nations. By the time we arrived in Wellington for the first test, we were more than ready. The team was even buoyed by a telegram from cricket legend Sir Donald Bradman, who simply wrote, "It's a very big occasion, good luck." The Wallabies edged out a 13-12 victory in that first test, but heartbreak followed in Dunedin, where a controversial refereeing decision denied Wallabies number 8 Steve Toynman a late try, flipping the score to a 13-12 loss. That was the quietest dressing room I've ever experienced, Poitevin says somberly. We all knew that call had cost us the chance to go 2-0 up and seal the series. Andrew Leeds, a rookie reserve fullback in that match, remembers, "You could have heard a pin drop. We were devastated." Slack was once asked if the two identical 13-12 scorelines meant anything. "No," he replied dryly. "In my defense, we were exhausted, and Jonesy had promised us 5 days of skiing if we won the series 2-0. You know, I still haven't been skiing." Coach Alan Jones didn't allow the team to dwell on disappointment. Before we even checked into the hotel the next day, Jonesy had us back on the training field, Poitevin recalls. When the locals complained about the late-night practice, he commandeered some cars to shine their headlights onto the pitch so we could keep going. The 1986 tour was grueling. 7 weeks, 3 tests, and 11 tough midweek matches. It was my 3rd New Zealand tour, and there are no easy games there, Slack says, but we all felt privileged to be with our mates representing Australian rugby. The team's camaraderie was strong. There were some legendary toga parties, Leeds laughs. We played twice a week, celebrated twice a week, and embraced the hospitality of the New Zealanders. It would have been rude not to. Steinlager beer sponsored the series, and crates of it were available at every stop. Was this a warm welcome, or a subtle attempt to sabotage the Wallabies? Probably a bit of both, Poitevin chuckles. But we could indulge because we were incredibly fit and battle-hardened. The true test came on 6th September at Eden Park. The Wallabies made headlines for walking out of a hotel that had only one shower for a squad of 30 players. Allen blew up, Slack admits, but we barely noticed. Our focus was entirely on the test. They needed that focus, as the All Blacks unleashed a relentless assault. Back then, the All Blacks strategy was to dominate up front, kick to the corners, and dismantle you on the ground, says centre Brett Papworth. It was tough and methodical, but effective. Leeds' strong form earned him a test debut at fullback, pushing David Campese to the wing. As the new guy, I expected a barrage of high kicks, but they surprised us by running the ball instead. It was chaotic. Their plan was to overwhelm us in the first 20 minutes. Even Poitevin, playing his 40th test, was taken aback. Usually, Bledisloe matches are like trench warfare, hit and counter-hit. This was different. It was fast-paced, wide-open rugby. Eden Park was roaring. We knew we were in for a battle like no other. Despite the onslaught, the Wallabies held firm. Cowboy Mark Shaw ran right over me, but I held on, Papworth recalls. Every time they charged, we had the numbers. After half an hour of intense play, fatigue set in and errors started creeping up. The turning point came with a goal line tackle by prop Enrique Rodriguez. When Topo Rodriguez smashed Hika Reed, Papworth says, our spirits lifted and theirs dropped. Slack agrees. Defense is all about attitude, and that tackle perfectly captured ours. The Wallabies went into halftime leading 12-6, thanks to a dazzling, zigzagging run by Papworth that set up Leeds' first try. Ultimately, Australia surged to a 22-9 victory. The 84 Grand Slam was magical, but 86 was on another level, Poitevin reflects. Winning felt incredible. Eden Park was silent that day. Slack ranks this win even higher than the historic Grand Slam over England, Wales, Scotland, and Ireland. The quality and significance of that performance were unmatched, he says. For any Wallaby, there's no greater joy than beating the All Blacks. Papworth and Leeds continued playing as amateurs for another year before switching to rugby league. But I never toured with a happier group than the 86 team, Leeds says. Eden Park was the highlight of my career. Papworth agrees wholeheartedly. That day is etched in my heart forever. ... So, can the 2025 Wallabies replicate this legendary feat? They have the confidence, Poitevin says. They've overcome tough times before to win. At Eden Park, the toughest challenge of all, the formula is simple, Papworth insists. Believe in yourself and go for it. But here's where it gets controversial. Is the Eden Park curse really about the venue? Or is it the psychological weight of facing the All Blacks on their home turf? And with the modern game evolving, can the Wallabies' renewed self-belief truly overcome decades of history? What do you think? Are the 2025 Wallabies destined to rewrite the story? Or is Eden Park's fortress too strong? Share your thoughts below.